Hey, witches!
Hi, hello.
I was about to say I have tea, and then you clicked record.
Sorry.
Whoops! That's a nice
Anyways,
segue, though.
right? Welcome back to part 4
4.
of The Night and Its Moon. We are now in
Things
part
are
3 of the
getting
book.
good.
Yeah, part 3, The Many Faces of Demons. Which, just realized that's a good title to part 3.
Yeah,
Whatever.
shit started to get wild.
Yeah, it was kind of like a slow takeoff. Like, you could tell like it was like coming to like the part where it was going to speed up some more. But
Yeah.
the anticipation of that happening on top of like, what is it?
Right?
really sucks. So I didn't write a lot because I was like anticipating like that next best thing. Before
Yeah.
I knew it, I was like almost done with a chapter, and I had to go back and figure out something.
Yeah, I only have 2 pages of notes, but I have a lot to say about a certain situation that I didn't write a lot down, but I have a lot to say about it.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
Probably.
I wanted to FaceTime you so much after I read that. I was like,
Does it have something to do with your namesake?
yeah,
Yep,
yes,
yep.
it does.
Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh.
Anyways,
But
whew.
starting in chapter 24, the beginning of part 3, we are with Amaris. And she's about to get her first like mission, or I don't know what you would call it.
I think they call it missions.
Yeah, as a Reaver. But it's not a solo mission like most missions are, which is odd.
Yeah, there's a trio.
Oof. I got a lot to say about that too.
Yeah, so it's Ash, Amaris, and Malik.
Malik.
Is that how we pronounce it?
Uh, Hold on, I have the
The
pronunciation guide
emphasis is
to
on the
hand.
MA, I think.
Malik.
I like Malik better, but
I do too, but looking at the pronunciation guide, I think it's Malik.
okay. Well, here we go. All right, Piper CJ, please do something like SJM and post a video.
Right?
Because I see that
We
it's on your
follow you.
TikTok. However, I still have to like read it myself, and I still don't do it very well.
Pretty sure it's Malik.
Malik, man, when I think of Malik, I just think like, huh, like a big
I
strong,
also,
like
when
strong
I
dude.
think of Malik, I definitely don't think of someone white. I think of someone maybe like Middle Eastern kind of.
Yeah, I think I think African American, but that's just because I used to work with an African American kid named Malik,
Yeah.
and
I've never known anyone named Malik, but that's just where my mind would go.
yeah,
And
I just
I
like
don't think that this
just see it.
person is he?
No, I
Wait,
think
who?
he's blonde.
Yeah, nah, he's blonde. Yeah.
He's blonde. So we have a redhead who's Ash. We have the silver haired or like the white haired Amaris. We have the black haired ebony like features uh Nox. We have a blonde Malik, and then we have 2 dark surprise visitors. And then Samael he's dark hair, dark skin, all like tan.
Yes.
So is he a dark elf?
Dark Fae, I think. Yeah. I think so.
I'm gonna bring that back a little later. Um.
Okay.
Anyways, so I have a question about the horse situation.
Okay.
Okay, so they're riding down the mountain. There's 2 groups. We got the trio, the younger people, the younger Reavers. So Ash, Malik, and Amaris. And then we have I don't remember the other person, but it's Odrin. Who's the other person that's going with Odrin? Grim?
Grem.
Grem. Creme la creme. They're going separate ways. However, they're going down the mountain together. She talks a lot about how she doesn't know how to ride a horse and about how like side saddle, she learned how to ride side saddle back at like Farley. But like she's 18, she's been there 3 years.
What? Yes. I wrote that
What do
too.
you
I
just now
literally was like,
you're
not teaching her to ride seems like a lapse in her training. Like,
I let me just run up and down the mountain. I don't fucking need a horse. Like screw this.
right.
So I'm just
Like,
like 3 years and you don't know how to ride a horse? I
yes.
don't know how to ride a horse, but I also wasn't training to be a reaver for the last 3 years.
Yeah, I wrote that too. I was like, what the fuck?
That's literally the only thing in this entire chapter that like boggled my mind. I had to write it. I was like, what? She's been with them for so long, she has no idea how to like
Yes.
ride a horse.
Same. And then, like, I don't know. This whole thing is just wild to me. Like, he wants. So basically, Samael is sending them to persuade the queen of.
Obeyed.
Yes. To not
Is
start
it
a
the
war,
Queen
basically.
of Fairhold?
Yeah. The queen of the south is what it says right here.
Okay.
And he literally says, I think Amaris might be particularly silver tongued in getting the queen to listen to our cause. And
Oh.
like, so clearly he's like, hey, go use your persuasion on this queen to make her not start a war. And then Odrin and Graham are going north to Rascot.
They're going to Gridir, I think. Because they offered Ash to go
Oh, there's
with, and then
somebody
Ashley's like,
already
I don't want to go
in.
see my father.
Yes, because there's already someone in Rascot. And so they're going there. Anyway, um, yeah, he wants her to use her persuasion on a queen. And then she's basically like, worst come to worst, we'll get there. Just tell her to give me her crown. And I was like, yes.
Do it, girl, do it.
I was cracking up. And then I wrote bum 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 at the end of the chapter, like dun dun dun, but I don't know why. Oh, yeah, I do. Do you have anything else for that chapter?
Nope.
At the end of the chapter, she's like, having checked the perimeter, Amaris lay down for another uneventful evening. It would be another night with only the trees, the wind, and her thoughts. Until it wasn't. And so I wrote, dun dun dun.
Yeah, I was.
Sorry, I just read my first note for the next chapter. Oh my god.
You scared me. Okay.
Don't mind me. I'm just cackling.
Anyways, so my first comment was essentially the very first page because Amaris wakes up, like not wakes up, but she like opened her eyes and she's like looking around, and the forest is super super quiet. There is like nobody around. It's quiet. She can't hear anything, and it's like, have you ever been in the forest when it just got eerily quiet?
Okay, I make a habit of not being in the forest. That is not somewhere that I enjoy being. Problem for a witch, let me say, but I don't typically find myself in the forest. It's not somewhere that I
Okay, that's fair. So I was all about the spooks. I love doing anything spooky. So like if I was with my friends and they would be like, "Hey, we're going to go to the cemetery tonight and do whatever." I'll be like, "I'm fucking down. Let's go." Like, "Oh, hey, we're going to go tell spooky stories at this gravesite." Fuck yeah, let's go. Hey, did you hear about this like urban legend about Hookman's Hill on the south side, like out on the south side of Peru? And I was like, nope, let's go check it out. I want to go. Let's go. Like, I was that person. I purposely sought creepiness, and death, essentially, if there was ever anything dangerous out there. Like I sought it out. Like I was that person. I'm the person that the black people in scary movies are like, nah, that bitch is crazy. That's me. That shit is me. Listen. And I think I'm okay to say that because I have a friend who's African American and she goes the opposite direction of me. She's like, I like scary things, but you got me fucked up if you think I'm going with.
Yeah, I
So
I
she
am
said to me
that
once,
person that I'm definitely, if I am running, you better match my energy because something's fucking chasing me. I'm not running for fun or for exercise. I'm not running on purpose. There's something coming, so you should probably run faster than me so doesn't get you first because I'm running for a
yeah,
reason.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I sought after that quite a bit, and there's a scary, like kind of scary, I guess. I mean, in the daylight, it's not scary at all. It's kind of weird and eerie, but it's not scary at all. But like at night, it's supposed to be like super haunted, called Okefenokee.
I've heard of that.
Yeah. So the fun thing to do in the summertime was to, and if you had a car, you were able to be out late at night or whatever. The fun thing to do was to go to this haunted forest called Okefenokee. There's a lot of myth and lore around it, and you know what? I'll make that like we'll talk about it. And how about that? We'll like haunted places
Oh, I like
in our
that.
home state kind of thing, and I'll talk about that there. But basically, I went out there and I was like, yeah, this is fucking cool. Until it wasn't cool because it was very, very quiet. And then I couldn't hear my friends. I had no idea where they were. I felt like I was alone. I felt like I didn't know where I was going. I had a flashlight, but that didn't mean anything. Everything looked the same to me.
Until it wasn't. Bum bum bum.
Yeah. And let me tell you, I heard like a twig snap, and I fucking took off. I was like, I'm out of here. I
Oh
started
my
running
god.
down the because when you're going out in like the forest or not forest, like you're going out on like country roads, and then you turn down like a dirt road through like two cornfields, but it's like dense. You don't see an
Mm-hmm.
opening to this entrance, but like there's a slight little one, but like all the trees are like a huge overhang.
Mm-mm.
And then you go out to the very end where it's like just this big circle, and it looks like there's like a fire pit out there. I drove out there one night for like Halloween, just for shits and giggles, and there was like people in hoods with like a huge like lamb on the stake, and they were
Listen,
all
what
on
color
horses.
hoods? Because you know what country you in, right?
I know, and you know what? I was honestly just afraid, and I had an African American friend with me, and we were trying to hide him
Yeah, cause
because,
y'all know where we from.
and honestly, I can't remember if they were white hoods or if they were red hoods. Either way, I tried not to look at them to like draw suspicion to us because
You just trying to get
I
the
fuck
fuck
with
up out
people
of
of
there.
all colors. Yeah, um, and yeah, they were all on horses, and we're not happy that we drove out there because like they basically like pushed us to go around and go like back out, and I was like, and let me tell you, the Ku Klux Klan part of Indiana is only like 10 minutes from that location.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You don't know where we from.
So I was like, well, that was dangerous. Probably should not come out here on Halloween night. I mean, it was either that or a cult. I mean, we have
In
a lot of Bible thumpers.
Indiana.
So I did that for fun. But let me tell you, that shit's creepy. So, like,
I
kudos to
love
her for kind of keeping her cool.
that like took us on that whole segue. That was great.
It's
But yes,
terrifying.
Amaris
Sorry.
wakes up and it's super fucking quiet, right? And she's like, "Ooh, what the fuck is going on? Something's here. Yikes."
And I think this is kind of like where I kind of got lost. Like, because as she's like going through the forest, she sees something. And is that something that pops up later on in the story? Or is
I
it
don't
like,
know.
because it's kind of vague. I'm not saying like that's like a flaw or anything, but I just want to know like,
Right?
is it the the people that we're about to meet in the next coming chapter or two, or is that like
I thought we met them
a
in this book.
monster that we're also going to meet later on in this book? Because
well, we meet the characters in this chapter, don't we?
it's either this chapter or next.
Yeah, because it's this chapter. Because on page 261, I said, "What in the Akatar?"
Okay. Yeah, you're right though.
And not the name of them just went out of my head.
Illyrians?
The people, yeah, not the Illyrians, but like the Nephilim, like what's his face's
The
people?
feather
Yeah, because they had
like
feathery wings.
It's like if you mix the Illyrians with like the dark color, not dark skin, but like dark hair, dark features,
dark feathers. Yeah.
If you mix that with like Summer Court, Seraphim, same person. I see that. Feather like wings, just all black, like as if they were born of the night. Yeah.
I was just like, this.
I could see why you see Akatar, because I was like,
I know they were describing him, and I was like, what?
Who's this?
What? What?
Who is this?
And then like there's this two beings, and she almost shoots the one, and then the other one stops her.
Yeah, because one's getting water in their water skin. In his water skin.
And as far as she knows, these are like demons. So she's like, I'm just gonna kill it and get out of here. But then there's two of them.
I think the way she described it, it was like long, spindly like fingers. It was this, it was that. Like the way she described it was like a demon. I think that's where I'm confused.
Well, because they describe like what the demon actually looks like, and then she describes how it looks to her. And so like she's expecting it to look one way, but it doesn't look that way. Because she winces in preparation for leathery skin, jagged teeth, a rigid spine, but that's not what she sees. She just sees a guy with dark hair, dressed in hardened black leathers. What in the Avatar? He might as well have been a fallen angel.
Lucifer? Well,
but then, like, so they start talking, and he's about to say something to her. He's like, wait, like
Oh, I think she's like talking to them because she's like, what are you doing now? He like realizes that he doesn't see him the way everybody else would see him.
Yeah.
And then I also think he's kind of like talking to people off like behind her, because he looks behind her as he says wait. So it's like either
or something.
Yeah, it's either like, because I honestly thought what was going to happen was it's like a group of them. It was like 15 of them or whatever, and then these two were like scouting, and then some off in the distance of their party, and like they were getting ready to like shoot her, and then he's like, wait, like she's not attacking us. But then it took the whole total loop, and it was not that at all.
Yeah. And then Ash runs the fuck in to save the day, and they just disappear.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And you know, all of this because she thought she like has like the gift of sight and all of that. Not all of this because of that, but like, you know how she talks about how she feels like she sees these visions of like that are true or real or whatever.
Yeah.
I wonder if that has anything to do with the fact that like she sees these people not as monsters, but like,
could be. But yeah, so Ash is pissed because Amaris left without waking up them. And like, ugh. But then like he's kind of being a dick because she's like, them's name is it Zakai?
Yeah, I think it's Zakai.
Yeah, Zakai. And he's like, they can speak, but they don't have names. I'm quite certain they're nameless. And like, no, bitch, she just clearly told you that he had a name. Like, don't be a dick. I literally wrote, of all the ignorant, clearly they do have names. She just fucking said that.
Why would she just say, like, oh, that one's Zakai, as if it's like a bunny rabbit that she's gonna bring home as a pet?
Right? Like, I just named him. That's his. Like,
that one's Squishy. He's
shut
gonna
the
be
fuck
my
up,
favorite.
mansplainer.
No. You guys are all fucking
Okay.
reavers. Like, if you see somebody and they have a name, that's probably a good reason.
Right?
It's something's different about your little friend here, if they haven't noticed yet.
Okay, right quick. We should pause for just a second. That's all I had for chapter 25. Sorry. Did you have anything else for chapter 25?
I do.
Okay.
Just one more thing though, because they basically are like asking if she's okay, because like she's hearing things, seeing things, kind of stuff, like gaslighting her into thinking she didn't see anything and that she's just kind of crazy in a way.
Right?
Like, man, such is the life of a woman.
Right?
Always doubting us.
Fucking real.
And, you
Especially.
know, Ash essentially did exactly what he said he wouldn't do.
Yeah.
Because Ash straight up told her, like, oh, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do any of that. I believe you. I'd do this. And then it's like, what the fuck you doing? You're doing that.
Literally
You're doing
on
that.
that page, he said that. Ridiculous.
All right. That was all I have for chapter 25. Ash just pissed me off.
Okay, I'm going to pause this for just a second because we're going to start a new segment on the podcast called Witch's Brew. And we're going to do like teas. We're going to try out teas, cocktails, and all kinds of witchy themed beverages. And today I tried the Witch's Brew Artisanal Loose Tea. Is that how you say that? Artisanal? I don't know.
Guess as
Loose
good as
tea
mine.
from Sigil, which is the like witchy shop where I'm from. They also have a website. It's sigilspellcasters.com, I think.
Spellcrafters.
Spellcrafters.
And they could ship to you.
Yes.
They have an Etsy shop. I
So,
love that place.
Yeah, sigilspellcrafters.com. And yes, they have an Etsy. It's called Witch's Brew, which I thought was an apt thing for our first Witch's Brew segment. It's black tea with orange peel, sliced apple and peel, butterfly pea flower, clove, star anise, ginger, and allspice. And it is pretty good. Just by itself, I'm trying it.
As you actively drink it.
It's definitely like a more spice. It's definitely a fall tea. Let me put it that way. It's more spicy. I'm gonna add a little bit of honey because I'm a baby.
You don't like chai tea?
Not a huge.
Are you able to drink that? Does it have cinnamon in it?
It depends on where you get it from and how much cinnamon it has in it.
Oh.
Because I probably shouldn't, but I do. I also still eat cinnamon rolls and all that stuff, even though I probably shouldn't. As I'm speaking, I'm about to sneeze. Oh, and I just accidentally told Kayla that I was missing her. Sorry, so that sounds really weird. My friend Kayla got these bracelets that have you seen those lamps like on TikTok where if you touch it, it lights up? So if you touch this bracelet, it lights up and then it makes hers light up. And I just accidentally pushed it. So,
she's gonna be calling you, be like, "Oh, I miss you too." Oh, sorry about that. I didn't actually mean to
push the button right then, you know. Yes. Hey, Kayla.
That's scary.
Anywho, but yes, it's actually pretty good. And so Sigil Spellcrafters witchesbrew.com, Witches Brew. If you need
They actually have teas too that are like any consumables.
It's better with the honey.
Any like consumable stuff. They actually have like banishment tea, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
They also have like actual like brews for certain periods of the month, the week, whatever the case may be.
Yes.
But, cool.
So that's exciting. And then sometimes we'll be doing like, I literally bought the book Moon Magic Mixology. Excuse me, from Sigil Spellcrafters, and so we'll be doing some fun cocktails from that too. But when we do that, we'll probably both be trying them at the same time.
We'll both be fucking trashed.
Yeah, we'll be doing some boozy episodes.
It's a boozy witch's brew. Anyways, that's so funny.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Anywho.
Oh, listen, I had a lot to say about chapter 26. A lot.
Is this the one with?
Okay, so we hadn't seen or heard from Nox in a while. So we're finally back with Nox. And Nox is basically just like replaying every single thing that has happened to her at this place. And all the news that she's learned about everything, and she's trying to find out like where Amaris is and like if she's okay and all of that kind of stuff. So Millicent decided to talk to her and, you know, lead her into a form of thought and ideas that are not her own. Manipulation, essentially. And I think she like what is oh, there it is. They like at the Selkie, which is essentially the brothel. Millicent talks about how like all these women are empowered for being like maidens of the night, and this is where a place of men and the blood of their bulges were merely a tool for money or even importantly for information, like a weapon. And it's like, so she's essentially using all these women, all these children like of all ages to gain money, power, and status, all because she wants to look good in the eyes of the queen so she can get a step to it. And it's like, a lot of people are like, God, why are you so dramatic? Why are you so this? And it's like, because you don't know like the kind of trauma that they've gone to that makes them act this way. If this is how they're taught to react to things, this is how they're going to react. Like sometimes when I think Will's mad at me, I'll just start tearing up because I don't know what to do. Like I freeze. I'm like, I'm not going to fight this. I kind of like revert back into like that little childlike state where I'm sorry, like, let me bow my head and cry. And like, hopefully you'll forgive me and we move on from that. That's a very toxic coping mechanism. And Will calls me out every fuck time. He goes, why are you crying? And I was like, I don't know. And he's like, you don't need to be. I'm not mad. And I'm just like, you're not. He's like, no, I'm not mad. If I was mad, like, you would know I'm not mad at you. Maybe a little frustrated, maybe a little stressed out, and you're going to kill me one day because of that, but I'm not mad at you. And I'm like, okay. He's like, just calm down, you're okay. And then I'll like wipe away the tears. I'm like, are you sure?
Oh my God.
So like, that's how manipulation can change people and make them think differently, act differently. And oh my God, Millicent pisses me the fuck up.
Oh, Millicent, the lying bitch.
Like, okay, maybe some women are empowered by being like escorts or
for sure
doing any of that. And you know what? That's fine. But when you buy them from someplace and force them into this
orphanage, like,
yeah, and force them into this nightlife, like, you're no better than the guy from Moulin Rouge who was just like, oh, you're going to be a great actress one day. Now go out there and sing and sleep with the Duke so we can do it and make it happen.
Right.
And it's like, bitch,
Meanwhile,
she's died
she's
from
dying.
tuberculosis. Yeah, like you're gonna make her go out there and sing, and she's got tuberculosis. Like, pieces of shit is what they are. And you know what? If you want to do that, by all means, do that. But don't come for me when I say that's manipulation.
And also, like, she just straight up lies to Nox and says that the assassin abducted Amaris.
Yeah,
Says she
it
abducted.
makes her think.
The assassin had seen a vulnerable girl running for the woods and abducted her. The women in the courtyard had been helpless to stop it as the villain swept her up amidst her cries. That's not what happened at all. Like,
No. And it's sad because Knox was kind of there but not there. She wasn't able to fully like witness everything because she was supposed to
she
have
was
left.
stuck waiting in the
Yeah, and
backyard.
so she's just under the impression that Amaris is probably dead, and she will stop at nothing to find that out. And if that means that she needs to go to Yelligan and find out her own information about the whereabouts of this child, then she's gonna fucking do that. And
Yep.
Millicent is pissed, and she's just like, I don't fucking care, Mill. Like, I don't care.
And she's like, I'm gonna do
Millie,
it.
my
So, like,
Millie, my man. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going.
yeah.
And she basically is like, well, if I know you're not going to be happy with me, I'm going to go anyways.
Yeah.
But then
And
she's up late at night thinking about all of this information.
her doorknob turns.
I wonder who that could be. It's her bestest friend, Emily.
Emily.
Hello, coming in to strip for you.
It's so funny because her name is Emily, but she's got like long flowing red hair and pale skin.
Yeah, and I'm the German part of that. I got dark hair and olive skin tone.
Yeah.
Definitely not pale. My legs can be pale, but I skin tone wise, I am not a fair maiden of Ireland, which is what this Emily is.
Yes.
But yeah,
Oh my
so we
gosh.
also find out that Emily has had a crush on Knox for a while. And you know what? I kind of wonder if that had anything to do with the fact that she, like, you know how she was like feeding off of people, but not really feeding off of them. I wonder if she was feeding off of Emily and Emily like succumbed to her
Could be. And they didn't realize,
succubus
neither of
charm.
them realized.
Yeah, and that's why she is the way that she is. And I mean, she's human. She's doesn't have anything special about her, so
Right.
like she cared about her sister, but like she essentially didn't get close to anybody because I from what I understood, that's all she wanted was Knox, and she was
Yeah.
like jealous.
Yep.
Poor baby.
And then the rest of the chapter is, I didn't write anything else because it's just Millicent throwing a big fit. The whole rest of the chapter is
Yeah.
just Millicent trying to put her big ass foot down and saying, "You're not gonna go. You're not gonna go to. Is it Yelligan or Yelligren?
Yell again.
Yelligan. Yelligan. Yell again." Yeah.
Yeah, she's just really pissed off. And I kind of want to know, like, I know she wants status and power, but like, is she, aside from that, like, is she for Murray or against her?
I don't know. I don't know. I think that she.
Oh, also, is it Murray or is it Murray? Or Roy? Murray? It's Rai. I don't know.
Hmm,
And every time I look at it,
I think it's Moirai.
all I can think of is that song, that Italian song. It's like, when if I that's
That's
Murray.
Amore.
That's
Oh
all I
my
can think of.
gosh.
So every time I see that, I immediately start saying Murray because I just think of that stupid song.
I think it's Moirai because of Zakai. Like they have the same
Oh,
pronunciation. Like it's
yeah,
Kai.
you're right. You're right. Mirai. That's a lot. That's a lot better. I like that one better.
Yeah.
Looks
Sounds I don't know.
ridiculous.
I think that the Madame Millicent just likes to be in control and likes to be the best. And Knox
Whoever.
clearly could surpass her in that, like, and doesn't need her anymore. So, like, I think she's just throwing her little bitchy fit.
I think she finally got her like the right person to come into her bedroom.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Anyways, in the next couple of pages, I feel like if you've been sold into servitude and told to have sex with like random people, like your life depends on it or whatever, I don't expect those women to have sex outside of their business.
Right?
I just feel like, I mean, I guess
I guess,
you're
like,
desensitized to it, but like
that was their work and now they're doing it for them kind of thing.
maybe.
Maybe, like, taking back ownership of it.
Yeah, I don't know. But basically, Emily and Knox have sex.
Plus, there is very big difference, I feel, between sex with a man versus sex with a woman. Like, it's very different.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like Knox is always like, I'm always in the lead kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, and especially if, like, if they are both lesbians, like, I don't know if they're lesbian or bi, like, that we never really find that out. But,
Well, we
like,
don't know about Emily either if it's true or not.
right. So, like, then I feel like when they're having sex with men, that's literally like, this is a job. This is just something I have to get through. It's like, this is work. And then when they're together, it's like, this is magic.
Maybe, yeah.
For Emily anyway, not for Knox, because
Knox is just using it as like a form of like, one day.
Yeah, like,
Because doesn't she say something along the lines too about like when she's having sex, like she starts thinking about like Amaris
yeah.
and it's like, oh, well, and didn't she scream out someone's name? Like someone's name that wasn't Emily's?
Uh,
Isn't like, didn't she say something along those lines? Like even though she like said someone else's name or something like that, like it still broke my heart or it still broke her heart or something like that.
I don't know.
I don't know. But uh I also wasn't expecting it with Emily.
I wasn't either. I was not ready
I
for
like
that.
I figured that they started off the same place, like they might be like good friends kind of in a way. But
I half expected them to be like enemies.
yeah, like Emily's jealous.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Moulin Rouge, where the
Yeah.
one dark haired person from Roxanne or dances the song from Roxanne, she like is jealous but not jealous.
Yeah. I kind of expected like an enemies kind of situation, but
Yeah.
that is not the case.
Considering she was in the business like 6 months prior to
Right.
Knox coming in, and now after Knox had sex with the first guy, she's just been this beautiful goddess essentially and has all these powerful men coming to her room.
Yeah. And Emily's
Well,
kind
good
of
for
doing the
Emily for
grunt
not
work,
doing that.
honestly. Like,
But
but yeah,
that's
just
all I had.
ouch. That's all I had for chapter 26 as well. Um, and then it's chapter 27. I don't have a lot for this one.
I have one thing.
I have two things. First of all, I just said poor Emily. Like,
Yeah,
just
that's essentially
fucking
what it
poor
was.
Emily.
because Nox is leaving to go find Amaris, and Emily's like, I thought it could be us. Really, really sad. She's starting to cry. Um, and I guess she was super excited that Nox was, hand delivered to Selkie a long time ago because she was like, man, they got us upon me. Um, oh, uh, I read it wrong. It says Emily hadn't pressed the issue, knowing that when the beauty had breathed her name in bed, her heart had been with another. I was thinking like, I guess I switched that around.
Got you.
But anyways, yeah. So she's like reminiscing about all the times that like they shared intimate moments and how she loves her essentially or cares about her
I
deeply. It's
literally
so
wrote,
sad.
it's like falling in love with a straight girl. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Like my first ever like real girl crush, like on a real person, not a celebrity or book character, was on someone who was like one of my best friends. And she wasn't straight, she was bi, but she preferred men over women. Um, but like I so badly just wanted to be with her, and she just wanted to be friends, and like it ended up working out. Like we would not have worked out, and I wouldn't change a thing about like our friendship and where we both are now because she's married and she just had a baby, I think. And like I'm very happy with Brittany, but like being in love with a straight girl sucks. As someone who has experienced it firsthand, it sucks.
Yeah. And honestly, it's a PSA for any like quote unquote Emily's out there or anybody in her situation from the book. It's time to move on.
Yeah.
Like,
Let it go. Let it go.
because like, not that I've been in that exact situation or even your exact situation, but definitely having a crush on like a guy and you're just like, oh, I really care about you. And then it's like, you do everything to, you know, do right by them or like to be great in like your friendship. And then all of a sudden you're just like, I said something that was not friendship related. It was a little bit more escalated than that. And I shouldn't have done that because now we're not friends anymore. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, cool. Well, I just lost one of my best friends and also like my crush. So
Yeah.
yeah, that sucked.
Yeah.
So it's just time to move on.
Yep. To chapter
don't
28.
don't dip your pen in the company ink. Don't do it. Okay, so Nox is on her way to Yelligan and Amaris is on her way south, and oh my god, I want them to fucking meet. I want
Right?
them to fucking meet so bad.
So, yes, and I also wrote, like, at the very first thing for this chapter, I was like, why am I a little bit disappointed every time I start to read and I realize it's an Amaris chapter?
Same. I really want to
Like,
know more about Nox and everything that's happened with her and like her kind of discovering herself.
yeah, I am much into to Knox. I feel, I don't know,
I feel like she hasn't
Amaris,
had her happy ending yet, and I just
she
like
hasn't, and Amaris just has that like Gryffindor energy, and she gets on my fucking nerves, which is so funny because literally wearing this bracelet for my best friend who's a Gryffindor, like,
yeah.
but I can't, like, the Gryffindor energy gets on my fucking nerves.
And that's because you're a Ravenclaw and they don't think straight ahead.
Yeah, and
They
I'm just
just
like, you're an
they just
idiot.
go.
Like, stop it.
And you're
Ugh.
just like, listen, there are 17 different ways for this to happen, and one of them is the best way, and this is the way we need to go. Gryffindor's like, onward.
You're like, ah! Like, oh god, okay.
It's like any adventure.
I can't.
Oh god.
And Mars gets on my nerves. And I feel like Nox has that Slytherin energy, which I like a lot better than the Gryffindor energy.
Yeah.
So
I think I'm annoyed because Amaris is like taking that Gryffindor energy because she's the tiny little lass that always need protected, and she's like, ah, fuck that, I don't need protected anymore. And then it's like, yeah, you're kind of a badass now, like that's great, but like,
don't be an idiot.
yeah. And I think
I do want to know more
honestly,
too, like what are they? A gimney?
a
The fuck are
Gimney.
they called?
I
A
think a
Gimney.
Gimney.
Yeah. I do want to know more about them, but like I'm over Ash. Ash can go.
He's
And
like that. He's like that golden retriever. I love my best friend, like my sparring
yeah,
partner.
like
I'm gonna sleep with everybody else until she
very
says, like,
Theon
"Hey, I love
Greyjoy
you."
vibes. Like
Yeah, yeah. I'm over it.
yes.
I want to know more about Malik because
Agreed.
we don't know much about him. We know about Ash just because like Maris has had most chapters and she's essentially grown up with him. But
Yeah.
it's more about Samael. I mean, he's been around for 500 years.
Yeah.
What's the story?
I want more from him and I want to know about these that give me Ash can go. Honestly, I could do without Amaris as well, but it's fine. Ugh.
Clearly, she's got to be in those stories, so I guess I'll deal with her. But Ash, fuck you.
Yeah, I'm over
You
Ash.
know,
Ash
you
can
know
go.
who Ash reminds me of? He reminds me of the best friend from Vampire Academy. What was his name? The redhead best friend who, like, essentially killed himself
Mm-hmm.
for the love of Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I know
that guy.
exactly who you're talking about, but
That guy.
I can't think of what his name is. But
Don't
yeah.
worry, I got you. That's all I can think of whenever I think of Ash, and Ash pisses me off. What's his name? Mason Ashford.
Mason, yes.
Mason Ashford. Mason. Okay, I looked up and it just came up with the TV series, and I'm a little annoyed because they talk about him having red hair,
Uh,
bro.
hold up. There's a
I
couple
I
problems
don't
with that.
I don't care. Like, if they want to have Ariel be Caribbean style, like African American, I don't give a fuck. But when you are clearly sitting there describing someone in a book as pale,
Yeah.
very pale, redhead, gangly teenager, I don't expect this one. Look at
No,
that
I feel
chiseled
like
jaw.
I was gonna say
Look at
that
that
person
curly brown hair.
is way too attractive to play Mason. I'm just saying. Mason is supposed to be awkward and like
The ugly best friend.
yeah, not that.
He. No.
I can't. They need to stop with Vampire Academy. They need to just give up on it. Like they did that
Yeah.
first terrible movie.
The movie killed it for the rest of the series. For
Yeah,
the
I
entire
just
movie section that died. I will
yeah.
live in my head of the Vampire Academy that I believe in.
Well, and also like thinking back on Vampire Academy, like I tried to reread it like a year ago now, but I was like,
Cringe.
yeah, like Dimitri is like
A
old.
pedophile.
Yeah, and Rose is like a teenager and Dimitri is
It, but
old.
it didn't matter when we were in high school and we were reading that. Like, we sought after the burly older men. Like, that was the thing, and it's
Yeah.
because, yeah,
Ooh, I was reading it and I was like, this is kind of cringy. You know what though? This spin-off Bloodlines was my favorite part of that anyway. I really liked Sydney and Adrian in the spin-off. I don't know if you Adrian's in the
Adrian, Adrian. Oh my god! Listen, I cried over Adrian Not he wasn't my favorite. I still like was in love with like Dimitri, but like what happened to him was so sad.
Yeah, so I really liked the spinoff with him because he's in it a lot more. And then Sydney and the alchemists, and like I liked that more. But
Yeah, I didn't mind her character. I know I haven't read Bloodlines though.
she has Ravenclaw energy, so it makes a lot of sense that I would like
Yeah.
it. Anywho, back to this book. Do the Agimni look? I mean, obviously they do. They look different to Amaris than they look to Ash and Malik. Why? Like, is it because she's that type of fae? Like, is that what she is?
She shouldn't look like that. She should look like them if that's the case.
That's true, because they're, yeah. I don't know. I'm
But
just very confused. But then we were talking about, like, her gift of sight or whatever. Like, can she see them? Can she see through, like, whatever glamour or something? I don't
yeah,
know.
I,
And then I didn't write anything else till page 295, so.
go ahead. Mine's to page 298 because there's a lot that happened in this scene, a lot, and it
Yeah.
was not that it was hard to keep up with, but like you can't necessarily like stop the flow of what you're reading to like write something.
Yeah, so, like, basically what happens here is there's another monster called a Besul. Is that? Let me go back to my pronunciation, guys.
Bazool.
Besul, a Besul. And it comes and like Amaris fighting it, and then Zakai and the other guy. I don't know if we still don't know what his name is yet.
The general.
Yeah, she calls him the general.
Maybe the general want to save some
Zakai.
time.
Anyway, they show up and help her fight off this thing, and then fucking Ash, and Malik show up and start fighting the general and Zakai instead of listening to Amaris, because she's like, no, like you're fighting the wrong people.
Like the
Like,
thing that I was fighting and I woke you up for is dead. And
right.
that's what I don't understand. It's like you see these two things, but like, do you not see the Bazool like laying dead on the ground? Like,
Right.
what
Do
do
you
you
not
think?
see this corpse like that
Like,
we just killed?
what makes them look 10 times scarier than the Bazool? That's
Right.
what I want to know.
Ugh.
So they're fighting, and then she unleashes her powers.
She uses her persuasion. But
And
I
it's
just said
so
idiots
sad.
because they just piss me off. Like, listen to her.
Such is the life of a woman.
That's also what I wrote on page 298. I said if they would just fucking listen, and I underlined listen.
Yeah. The and it's just super emotional too because like they realize that she has powers. She's not just half fae, like she's got powers of some sort, like evil
Yeah.
powers, and they call her like she thinks they're calling her a witch. They do call her a witch later on. They call her a traitorous bastard, and like they're just betrayed, and it's so sad because it's like you grew up with the not grew up
Well, yeah,
the but like you come close to with these people and like your family, and all of a sudden
you
they
shared
hate you.
blood,
Literally.
which is
and
disgusting. But
and and I think she just wants to know more about them, and I kind of wonder too. I mean, at this point, I wonder if she sees resemblance between them and Amar Nox.
Nox, I could see that.
But like something about them, she like just felt like she was being called to them,
Yeah.
like to the field. And so not to the field, but like prior to that, and then they just want to know like, yo, why? Oh, that's next chapter. This is
Yeah.
why you don't read ahead.
Okay. The last thing I wrote for chapter 28 was I dislike Amara's chapters so much. They make me feel gross emotions. such as, I fucking hate that they just wouldn't fucking listen to her. And then she had to like force them to leave because they wouldn't fucking listen to her.
And
Even
then they
though
leave.
he just fucking said, you really think I wouldn't believe you? You're not believing me right now.
Yeah,
Like,
you are literally false advertising your statement.
yeah, like,
Piece of shit.
you literally don't believe me right now. What the fuck? And then it ends before we find anything out.
I know. And I was like, literally as the next chapter comes in, and I was like, oh god, well, now that they're alone, like, what's gonna happen? Like, I'm super excited. And then we got an
Oh
Ash
gosh.
scene, and I was like, but listen. I'm so happy. Okay, I agree with you. I do not like Ash, but I'm so glad we had it, because holy shit. They go to the tavern because they're pissed off. They want a night to like be away from the camp. They need to have tonic for I about called him Malachi. Uh for Malik's shoulder. So they go and get a few beers. And Ash is sitting there and he's just like, whatever, go get your shit. Like, I'm gonna sit here and get as fucking wasted as I can. All of a sudden, this very, very pretty dark haired woman comes up next to her or him, and he smells cinnamon, and it's got like really, really purpley lips. And I was like, wait. Amara's heard the fuck up. Get to camp. Like, figure out where the fucking are. Go.
Right?
I was internally screaming. Will's like on Discord talking to all his friends, and I'm sitting there like in the next
Yes.
room. Come get your
Literally.
woman.
Before that, though, why do ignorant idiots just always claim witchcraft?
Men.
Why is it always witchcraft? Like, fuck off, bro.
In
Not
the
only
3
had she
years
chosen
that like
demons, but she'd yielded an unforgivable witchcraft against Malik. Shut the fuck up.
persuasion to get you guys to stop fighting to possibly save your lives. Okay.
Yeah, fuck off.
Let's try again, sir. You're just thinking with your anger.
Yeah, but then like the whole time I was like, when she first walked up, I was like, Nox? And then I was like, Nox. Like,
Next.
it was
Listen,
just
I was
wild.
screaming, come get your woman.
Yeah, like
Go
holy
get
shit.
her. And then on the next page, basically she's trying to sleep with him, and he's like, I ain't fucking having it. Fuck you and your loins. And
Basically.
he describes himself as having like two internal wolves fighting. One of them is like ravaging her, and then the other one is like, this is
It's the
sketch.
bad
I'm not
idea,
doing this.
yeah.
Like, you want me of all people? Like, no thanks. And he basically talks, what does he say? He says something about her fruits being dangerous or like poisonous or venomous danger or something like that is what he said. And I was like, well, buddy, her fruits are very life changing.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Would you like to owe your life to this woman? Like, keep going. But listen, good for
Like,
him for being so strong willed, though.
right? And
Most men
like,
would be like, fuck yeah, let's go.
that would have severely complicated things even more.
Mars just shows up, fucking Ash is dead. What the fuck? What's happening?
Well, honestly, when
Nox?
I first realized it was Nox, that's what I thought was going to happen. I
Yeah.
thought Nox was going to kill Ash. Maybe
It's
I was
always the
secretly
best friend.
hoping.
I was like, it's like Mason Ashford. I was just like, yep, Mason's gonna die.
Yeah, right? Like,
Ash
ugh.
is gonna die. Like, all right, goodbye. I guess
But then
you
I was like,
barely.
oh, now Amaris is going to have this, like, whole, like, crisis about, like, okay, she killed Ash, who is, like, my brother. What do I do? But
And
then
here's the thing:
that didn't happen.
if he knew that the Reavers were like that, he was a Reaver, I mean, at the end of the chapter, she straight up said, or he straight up says, like, she looks like she's gonna kill me, or she
Yeah.
has a look of someone who's gonna kill me, and it's like, I wonder if she knows that he's a Reaver.
Yeah, could be.
But I'm at the end of this though, I was like, where the fuck are the Dark Fae? Like, I want to know more about them. Like, so I just
we
sat there
chose
like,
to stop right before that.
yeah, and I was like, damn it. Okay, I guess that'll be next chapter, next episode.
Yeah.
It was just like 40. It was like 70 pages, just one chapter.
Yeah, it's a long ass chapter. I haven't started reading it yet, but
I'm like 4 pages in. It'll be
yeah.
here in the next couple of days.
But
It's
coming
super
up,
long.
we're gonna do the new moon episode.
Yeah, new moon and
Astara.
oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yay!
And
New
then
things
we'll be
coming.
back to the night and its moon. Part 5.
What a cliffhanger!
Right? It's
cliffhanger.
You guys are gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to wait and come back in 3 weeks. What the Dark Fae
that's so far away. Oh Lord! All right. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.